We're here at Daytona, getting ready to go karting. Our friends have just arrived, so we've got Ed and Kim, and then Adam will be here soon. Or unless he might already be here. Is his car here? That might be his car over there. Who knows? Is that him? That looks like him. I think he's getting a bird's eye view of the track. This is Edward. You've come karting with me today. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
That's what friends are for. Just a quick question. When was the last time you went karting?
About 10, 11 years ago, something like that maybe.
Okay.
A long time ago.
And what's your confidence levels today?
Low.
Low. Okay. I'll ask you a question about when was the last time you went karting?
When was the last time I went karting? Probably like 2021.
2020. Oh, right. I thought you were going to say like 21 years ago.
No,
No,
2021.
right. Okay, 2021.
Yeah.
Challenger. Right.
You feeling ready? You're excited
I am.
for this.
I am excited. I'm very excited.
I checked out your Instagram earlier.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
The idea is that 200 hours of Gran Turismo might help.
Really?
200 hours.
With a wheel or controller?
Controller. So probably not. We've got a couple of challenges that we're going to try and beat today. One is beating our friend, and then secondly is beating my times from before, which is in 2017, I set a 78 second, and in 2025, I set a 79 second. So that's what, 1 minute 18 and 1 minute 19. But yeah, anyway, I'll see you on the track. And we are going karting. Now, I don't know if that joke at the beginning actually qualifies as a legitimate joke, but anyway. So we had a 10-minute qualifier and we started in 15th, 17th and 19th, which meant we were one behind each other on the grid, which is kind of fun. Ed said to me that he would try and protect me from the back. Now, technically, as we start the race, I have already beaten Challenge 1, but this is go-karting, so silly things do happen quite often. But I'm quite happy with my start here. I do maintain position as we go into the first chicane around the track. The driver behind does start to challenge me for position, but I do have the inside line on the little hairpin here and do keep him at bay up into the next corner. But for some reason I leave the door wide open here and take a really wide line around the corner and allow him to get alongside. But he does get that little slide, so we do manage to get a little bit more speed down the hill here. And then he takes a lot of speed over the long right-hander and goes wide, and for some strange reason I decide to follow him as well and lose position to number 12 here. Now number 12 tries to make a move on this guy. He's trying to get alongside him to get the inside for the next corner, but doesn't make it, goes deep, and I manage to catch up and overtake him on the long straight. But if we pause it there, we'll just take a look at how the other guys got on at the beginning of the race. Now, Ed did tell me after the race that he didn't even see when the lights went out. I don't think he could even see the lights. As we go into the first corner here, I think because Ed doesn't file in with the karts and gets stuck on the inside line, which is quite a slow line as everyone's overtaking, he actually loses quite a few positions, and Adam gets the overtake done on Ed as well. So unfortunately for Ed here, he's lost about 2 or 3 positions. It seems like Adam might have gained one, but to be fair to them, considering they haven't karted in 5 to 10 years, you know, I think that's not a bad go. Now, an update on the positions. So I have lost 1 position, Adam has gained a position, and Ed has lost about 3 positions here. Now, back to the karting. As we're going up the hill, we're heading into the penultimate corner, which is quite a sharp hairpin if you know Daytona, and it's quite slow. And as you can see by the angle of my camera, I've been bonked in the back. And my dreams of a clean race have gone to pot, as Adam and Ed pass behind me and in front of me, and I now have to wait for these 4 karts to go past as well, which puts us back into about P24, 8 karts back from where we started. Now here's Adam's replay, and I'm pretty sure he should probably go to jail for that head-on with the kid there, and that did actually knock him into me. And here's Ed just gliding by everybody, avoiding the incident completely and getting himself up into P17, and Adam behind him P18. Now going around the first corner, Adam does get the overtake done on the inside, and this leaves us with me at the back in P24, losing 8 positions. Adam is up a position and Ed is up 2 positions now, but in second place. So challenge 1 has completely gone to pot, and we've got a bit of a mountain to climb if we want to catch up to these guys. So we might just have to deal with trying to get the fastest lap when we get some clean air in front of us. Now I'm in P24 here, and we've got Ed's little cam in P18 as he is starting to go up onto the straight. So he is only about 2 corners ahead of us. He's not miles ahead, and with our qualifying times I was about 3 seconds faster. So if I can maintain that in race pace, then I should be able to catch up, as long as I don't have any other accidents or silly business. Now, as you can see, Ed's had a bit of a moment at the hairpin. It does catch a lot of people out. I think it's because the tarmac changes slightly on the road, which I think it gets a little bit slippier on that part of the track. Now, under yellows here, I do kind of overtake this car on the inside, and the car ahead of me does overtake Ed before passing that car as well. Is it a little bit cheeky? Some would say yes. That's a little bit unfair, but anyway, it's go-karting. Kind of happens sometimes, really. At this point, I've kind of forgotten, or can't really keep track of the positions, so I'm just going to go for positions between friends. Adam is in P1, Ed is in P2, and I am in P3, right on Ed's tail here. Now, going around these corners, Ed's got pretty close to the car ahead of him and is keeping him in range for a possible overtake. Now, I think Ed's starting to get used to the track as he's hitting these apexes quite nicely, especially around this sweeping right-hander. It's quite a difficult one. But I go for a bit of a move here, and it's quite unwarranted. I mean, some might say that was attempted murder. Yeah, sorry, Ed. You did a good job of actually avoiding that one. I did see you take an evasive move. I did try and stop the car a little bit before colliding with you, but anyway. As we come down the fast downhill part of the track, again on the next lap, Ed does have a little spin here, which allows us to get ahead of him and up into P2. So now we have just got to chase down Adam. We can tick off beating Ed, at least for the time being, as long as we keep it clean and don't have another spin or a accident that slows us down too much. Looking at Adam here, his camera was pointed at the ground for most of the race, so that's why we're not really seeing his footage, but we can see on the little graphic that I've created here, quite happy about this graphic, that Adam is about 2 or 3 corners ahead of us, just going up the long uphill straight, as me and Ed are just coming into the fast downhill part of the track. Now, as coined by Poppy and Kim, these are the Speedy Boys, and I just wanted to let them pass safely, as I knew they were much faster than me.
These are Speedy Boys.
But I did want to stick it to the back of this pack of karts, because I knew they were a lot quicker than me, and I wanted to see if I could keep up with them and sort of match their speed, try and figure out what they're doing that makes them a lot quicker. Now, they are obviously, you know, effectively teenagers, so they're all a lot lighter than me, most likely. But that is just a bit of an excuse, because they are just quite simply a lot quicker than me. Now, as we see Ed's cam here, he's only about a corner behind me, so a slight accident or slowdown is going to allow him to catch up with us. Obviously, if he doesn't make one himself too. But we are chasing down the driver number 5 here and having a little bit of a battle with him, actually. I think he was maybe one of the slower of the Speedy Boys, maybe just a bit newer to the track or something, but we were managing to stay close to him and battle with him around the track, which was quite fun. And just before the uphill straight, he does lose it a little bit at the corner, and just behind us, Ed decides to rearrange the tyres. So we've made a bit of a position there, and we've made some space on Ed as well, which is nice. But into Ed's next lap, he's battling position here, which is pretty exciting, and he gets knocked again into the tyres, and actually twice by that driver. Cheeky bloke. But Ed gets the overtake done in the end and gets around him, and once again has to go up on the curb later in this lap to avoid another spin out, and a 5-kart pile up that seemingly appears right behind him. Now, a little bit later into this race, we're still chasing down Adam, trying to beat that first challenge that we've set for ourselves of beating Ed and Adam. And there's a little yellow flag ahead of us, so there's a bit of slower traffic, but Adam is now only a corner ahead. So we are getting within range of being able to do this. We are about 15 minutes into the session, so there's only about 5 minutes left. But I think, or at least I like to think, we should be able to catch up with Adam as he's battling here for position, which hopefully is slowing him down a little bit. Now he gets very close to the tail of this kart and unfortunately spins out and then drives himself into the tyre wall. Now these karts don't have a reverse function, you have to wait for a marshal to come and push you away, and I managed to get the overtake done on Adam here as he is stuck in the tyre wall. Now Ed does the nice thing and does a little courteous wave as if everyone's just waited for him in traffic. He does get ahead of Adam and gets into P2 here. Now we've still got challenge 2 to beat, which is a 78.264. We've only got an 85.57 as our fastest time so far, so we still need to get the foot down, get into some clean air, and try and get that fastest time. Now we are a good few corners ahead of the guys here, so I'm not too worried about losing out. Even if we spin, I think we'll probably be fine unless we get stuck in a corner. Now Ed does go for another spin in the same place and loses out to Adam, who gets up into P2. So now Ed's at the back in P3, unfortunately for Ed, and Adam is in P2. Now back to me here in P1. I am just letting these speedy boys pass because I know they're a lot quicker than me, but they go both outside and inside of this next karter, and he ends up clipping one of them and putting them into the tyre wall, which is kind of funny here. But we're now battling this karter ahead of us, number 12, who we saw earlier at the beginning of the race. We've managed to catch up finally to number 12 here, and we are fighting for them. Now Adam gives himself a bit of whiplash after hitting the back of the cart there. It forces him into the tyre wall, and yeah, he was complaining about some neck pain after the race, but we all signed the waiver, mate. Now after 12 loses it here a little bit on the middle part of the track, I get the overtake done around the outside and get myself ahead of him here. Now we are coming up to the last few laps of this race. I am in some clean air, but I get a spin on the inside hairpin in the middle of the track, and 12 goes past. Now we are under yellow flags, you might have seen them in the previous shot, and this is why, as this kid has got himself stuck under the tyre wall, which is a pretty nasty place to be. I don't quite understand how that happened, but it does result in the race getting red flagged, unfortunately. Now he was fine, he got up and walked away, hopefully with just a few scratches and nothing worse. But here, looking at the leaderboard, I managed to get myself up into P14, so managed to make one place, and Adam and Ed finished in 20 and 21, so they did end up losing a few places, unfortunately. But I think, considering it was the first time they'd really been around Daytona, I think maybe ever, I think they did a grand job, so well done, boys. As I was editing last night, I had the realisation that I didn't know whether or not I'd beaten my fastest time. When I looked at the timings on the day, I thought I got a 82, 83 second lap, which obviously was about 3-4 seconds beyond my fastest time. But when I came to the edit, I saw the final track times, and I managed to beat it by about 0.05 of a second, which I was very pleased about. I then went and told Poppy, and she said, "What? Half a second? What are you talking about?" She wasn't that impressed. But I was impressed. So 200 hours of Gran Turismo, like I said, boys, gets the job done. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.